I asked the other day on Facebook about team captains and whether you believe the baseball team should have captains or not. And I believe you should. And when you send your kid to me so I can teach him the game of baseball, I'm not only teaching him to field ground balls, pop flies, hit for singles, hit for home runs. I'm also teaching them how to grow, what you need later on in life. I'm teaching them responsibility, leadership, and hard work comes with rewards. My captains are in charge of taking coin flips in front of games, before games, leading in exercises, drills, pregame stretch, all sorts of stuff like that. As a coach, when you get to a game, I know I show up 2 hours early to scout, whether it's to see how the other team plays, how they hit, how they pitch, how they play as a team. And I want to know when I look down and see my team warming up, they're not screwing around, playing on the jungle gym, doing whatever. I hold my captains responsible for that stuff. And if they don't listen to my captains, they're running. If my captains didn't approach the situation and handle it properly, my captains are running. I never had a problem with my kids goofing off pregame. I know when you're a home team, coaches are trying to get stuff settled down, get stuff organized. Assistant coaches, I put in charge of making sure the umpires are there, for example. So my assistant coach might be trying to get a hold of the ump. Regardless, I want to know my kids are down there getting focused, doing what they need to take care of the situation on hand. And what's that? Getting ready for the ball game. Along with all the pregame stuff, when you're dealing with the youth, for example, young kids, it's hard to motivate them sometimes. They might have just been tired all day playing at the beach, you're playing the summer games, and the last thing they want to hear is their coach screaming at them to get the ground ball or get pumped up, we need 2 runs. What I would always do is I'd grab my captains, pull them outside the dugout and say, hey guys, let's get them motivated. Bring them back in, go do something else while the captains motivate the team. Sometimes kids just need their peers to pick them up a notch or 2. I expect my captains to pick up little Johnny because he missed a fly ball when they come into the dugout. Pull him aside, say, hey, get the next one. Sometimes kids need that more than they need the coaches telling them it'll be okay. Along with peer pressure, peer motivation is such a tool. And a lot of coaches don't use it as I think they should. I know one kid, for example, it was his first year. I know he struggled through the summer. He came to me in the fall. And I asked all my players, give me a motivational speech if I turn to you and ask you for one. And I know this one kid, for example, said, I don't know. Well, it turns out after fall with me, and halfway through the season of the next year, he was picked by his peers to be the captain. And I'm telling you, he was one of the loudest kids trying to pick up the other kids. He was always positive, and it's just a reward that I know he loved. And I know when I look down around the field and I hear a lot of commotion, it's always this player. All right, so now this player went from the little kid who didn't know how to how to make a motivational speech to leading my 10 AAA team. It changed him. It changed him as a player. I guarantee you, coming into this next season, he's going to be walking with his chest out tall. He's going to have a little bit more swag to his walk. It's just these little motivational things that will build a player. And not everybody deserves it. You look down a bench of 12 little kids, and 8 of them don't deserve to be a team captain. I know I had a dad jump down my throat and say, well, my kid thinks he should be captain because he's the best one on the team. Well, for one, he's not. And for 2, he doesn't motivate. And I said that. I said, if he wants to be a team captain, he needs to be outspoken about it. He needs to pump players up. And his answer was, well, that's not my son. Well, then that's not the son, or that's not the player I want leading my team. If he can't be outspoken enough, how's he supposed to lead his peers? If you want to call it a popularity contest, so be it. but I guarantee you, the popular kids will be the best players who are motivating the other kids. It's not going to be the kid who just gets dropped off because his parents want him to play baseball for the summer. That's not the kid who's going to ever be picked. I can tell you that right now. I picked captains at the beginning of the year. Halfway through, I let the team pick them. And all of my captains were the 5 best players on the team, by my pick and by the team pick. So, I mean, it tells you right there, kids want the best. They want to be able to go to little Stevie down the bench and say, hey, I don't get what coach is saying, and I don't want to look like an idiot, man, help me out. When he's out in right field and he looks to his center fielder, he says, hey, where should I play? What should I do? Help me out. Sometimes they just need, they need their buddy to point them in the right direction versus a coach. So finally, a captain's title is just a reward that I think boosts player motivation, the want, the desire, the need to be better. Most players have it in them, but some need that little push. I'll use a captain for it. It's just a reward for the player that I think deserves it. And just because you're not picked as a team captain doesn't mean you aren't or can't be. It just means that he's got the title. Still means that you need to be up, motivating your people just as well, whether you have the title or not. And just think, if you're doing a great job of it, when it comes to captain vote, whether it's coach or your teammates, they'll think of you. Think